I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head, head, head. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head, head, head. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head. Dance together, forgive him before he's dead. Because I'll dance, 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 I'll dance, 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 I'll dance, 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 I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, 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 hands. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, 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 dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands. I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head, head, head. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'll dance with my hands above my head. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands. I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance with my hands. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna. I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head, head, head. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head. Dance together, forgive him before he's dead. I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head, head, head. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head. Dance together, forgive him before he's dead. I'll dance.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth!
Phase 2.
Hello and welcome. If you're listening to this broadcast, this is from the past or from the future. After the security alert that just went off there's a real issue and everyone's went into hiding and we're bunkered down, but we still decided to come live to you
Yep.
because Dave's in Tenerife.
Yeah. No, I'm not in Tenerife. I'm
Lanzarote. So yes, pre-tape this one.
Yes, hello all. Welcome to the show. If you are watching this, it means I've managed to actually make it into Lanzarote and I am not in the country anymore. Well, hey.
Happy days. And as you can tell, the fucking security alert just went off on the phones there a couple of minutes ago that everyone's fucking going mad about.
I know, pushed back the recording of this. We were going to do it earlier and they're like, oh yeah, what happened to the
Do
fucking...
you know what's doing my head in, right?
What?
Everyone got it. Everyone's seeing the message on their phone, yet cunts are screenshotting their phone and putting pictures of it on Facebook.
For what reason?
Exactly.
To say that they got
They
it?
say, oh my God, this scared the shit out of me. Like, we all know it was coming. Everyone talked about it for about a month.
I know, but at the end of the day, there's still people who will live under a rock and not be aware that this is happening. I said this would happen to be people who'd be like, what's going on? What's the big emergency?
They're dickheads. They're just, no, it's just attention seeking. That's what it is. They're like, this is a
If you
Facebook
like on my
post.
Facebook.
Yep. Fuck off, you fucking lousy cunts. We all got the message. We can all read the message. Everyone got the same fucking message. I don't need to see a screenshot of 10 people in my newsfeed saying, oh my God, this actually happened.
Is this what's been wrong with you for the last wee while? Because you seem to have had the hump. Like, has that alarm just fucking set you off into a bad mood?
No, the people on Facebook did. It's like last week we were talking about cunts of fucking sure dogs that are missing in Liverpool. It's the same thing.
Oh, it was good time.
What's nice in the Chinese? I don't know, Sandra, you're 40 years old. Like, fucking ways up. You've had a Chinese before.
You were so cross about that.
It's true, but
I do agree with you. See as well, people who are like put up in Google what time's the shop open to. It's like I'm sure if you Google it, it'll fucking tell you. Sorry,
you've been going to the same shop since you were born. It's round the corner from your house. Surely you know.
Is the shop open tonight? I don't want to get off the sofa. And it's like, well, I'm sure if you Google it, it'll find out.
Anyone doing lifts? I know. Here's Phonacab's number.
Whenever we were younger and we didn't know if the office had opened on a Sunday or not, we used to ring the chippy.
I might be telling you.
Like that's okay because it's like, right, okay, well, you can tell us. You're right there.
Yep.
We don't know. This was before fucking...
Stick us on a sausage supper while you're at it.
Oh, no.
We'll not be picking it
There
up.
was definitely no eating being done for 2 days. It was just more drink.
But people on Facebook, mate, some of the shit I see is mad. Like,
But again, that's the world of social media. Like, I scroll down my Facebook now, and I don't know.
Does anyone know if Glenwood Primary School's open tomorrow? What do you mean? It's Monday. It's Monday tomorrow. Of course it's open. I know, but sure, is there not a bank holiday? But then they'll fucking let you know in advance if there's a bank holiday.
You couldn't just be fucked taking the kids to school, and that's it.
That's what it is. I on it on a Saturday night and a Sunday. They're just, for some reason, hoping that the school's not open the next day. But, like, see, in my kids' school, they make you well aware when they're off. Like, this week, they're going on strike this week. And they're off.
I know. See the amount of times fucking schools are closed. I find out her nursery was closed, and like these are off again.
They got 2 years off basically. For COVID, remember? Cunts got 2 years off.
Exactly. I know it's not a fucking easy job, like, but Jesus.
I know.
Someone's got to teach the fucks.
I wouldn't like having to teach some of spastics around here. Like.
See, whenever Nicole comes
some
home
idiots,
after
like.
spending a whole day of looking after infants and teaching them the ways of the world, and then she comes home to look after an infant and teach them the way of the world. Like, see, going to that, we went to, as I say, to that birthday party yesterday for one of the wee kids in her class, and 3 of the mums of the kids are also workers at the nursery. Like, you have literally spent 5 days with everyone in this room, and you're now spending your day off with all the kids you work with. Why do that to yourself?
It's just like another day's work, isn't it?
No, it's just mad.
But
and you can see, because there were certain times where they ran over and were like telling a wee kid off, and then she cut themselves on.
I
like,
can't do that today.
I don't have to do that today. I'm free.
I don't know.
Not my problem.
That's true. Yeah, but it'd be hard to get out of that habit. The same kids outside
It's
of school, wouldn't it?
You would just fall right back into the work mode.
You'd be alright. I never thought about that actually.
Mate, see, there's a few things that have been brought to my attention this week that you don't really think about, right? But then you're like, holy shit, that's a valid point. And then it's like a wee glass shattering moment, and it starts asking loads of different questions, right? Nicole showed me this video of some guy giving off on TikTok because he was like, when I was a child, like, if you're on fire, what do you do?
Die.
How do you stop being on fire?
Water.
Stop, drop, and roll. We never taught that.
Nah.
Fuck off.
No.
We taught anything over here.
I didn't go to school.
Well, that explains it. Well, the whole purpose of this was, like, whenever I was younger, you were always taught, if you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll. And the amount of times you're trained to stop, drop, and roll, as if, like, this is something that's going to happen in life, and I've yet to catch on fire. And I was like, fuck, that's a valid point, mate. And it got me thinking, right, what about front fucking brakes on bikes? What the fuck is the purpose of them? The amount of times people have pulled them and went over the handlebars, right? Even if you pull the back brake and the front brake, you're still going to go over the handlebar. At what point in our fucking smart society does someone say, do you know what, maybe we just don't put a front handbrake on it? And that's it. Stop. Like, literally, you could just take the front brake off, no one would be fucking any the wiser, and it would stop so many kids going over the handlebars.
Yep.
But even, like, I'm, 30-something? And even now, you still
almost 40.
Because you're teaching the kid, you was teaching her to go on the bike and, like, don't pull this brake. And then I was like, why do I have to still fucking tell you this? Why do they just not take the fucking thing off?
It's not meant to be as tight, the front brake.
Aye,
but
it's to
that's
slow you
the
down.
rule. It's like really.
But it's kids,
not
the
meant,
panic, they go, ah!
It's basic. I know, but it shouldn't stop the bike. This is the thing. See the front brake. See any bike I ever had, like my dad and all, and Heller's dad on it with the kids' bikes. Like, you loosen the front brake straight away. So it's it doesn't stop you, but it just helps. Do you know what I mean? But I agree with you. It's the most pointless thing on a bike.
And I found out as well. Do you know why people have cereal and porridge for breakfast? So it was back in fucking like 12,000 odd years ago. Whenever different tribes would come together to worship their gods, and they would sit and have meals of. But it was like nomads, so they would all come. It was Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
And they think now this is what it is because of all the different sites. This is where all different nomadic people would come
To
sit
worship.
and break bread with other nomadic tribes and worship. But by doing this, they then realised if we all just stay put and use all our different knowledges, then we don't have to go and be nomads anymore. So by having cereal and porridge for breakfast, it was your way of worshipping the gods every day before you went out to start your
Yeah.
day. And it still carries through to that. I was like, that's a point, because you never really wonder why the fuck do I have cereal? Why is it so important for you?
Because it's not even. People say breakfast most important meal of the day. It's not, mate. You're not meant to eat breakfast. Like.
Why?
It's Google it. I don't know exactly what it is, but breakfast is bad. You shouldn't be eating at that time of the day. You should only be eating one square meal a day. Your body's only made for that.
Is breakfast bad for you? So the first thing that comes up says there are just a few reasons why it's the most important meal of the day. Many studies have likened eating breakfast to good health, including better memory, concentration, lower levels of bad LDL cholesterol, and lower chances of getting diabetes.
Now,
So there you go. That's why you've got diabetes, because you don't
go
eat
down
breakfast.
and find a reputable website. Say why is breakfast?
WebMD. I think that's pretty reputable.
Ways up, mate. They said the COVID vaccine was fine.
Traditional evidence suggests that eating breakfast jumpstarts your metabolism and helps you burn more calories throughout the day. That's SCL Health.
Right in, why is breakfast bad for you? I listened to a podcast on your man Rogan about it. Your man Andrew Huberman was talking about it.
Well, there's Healthline. Eating breakfast does not boost your metabolism. Some people claim that it does, but it's just a myth.
That's might have been
Why
what.
should you skip? It can help lower your total carb intake for the day. So right, if you're if you're like training and want to be, oh, I am jacked, then maybe you don't eat breakfast. But
But it
just
slows
for
you
normal
down
people.
too, because then it does. Your body doesn't digest the food as quick because you're constantly sticking it in you. The way he was explaining it. But I've never really eat breakfast unless we're on the road. I'll eat breakfast.
No, toast.
I'll eat around a
Do
toast.
you know I was actually having a fucking bit of toast last night, as sad as this is, and when it was buttering, I was like, do you remember whenever we were going to start doing toast time with Sergi in the airports and all, sitting there like,
5 rounds of white bread, 2 butters on each.
I'm still fucking baffled, like the money you'll pay in an airport for fucking, like, not even proper warm bread, and then we fucking frozen lumps of butter that you have to like stab in.
Real butters, aye.
But
Fucking
like
real butter's great.
by the time you butter it onto your toast looks like a fucking stab victim.
No, it's not. You put them in between the bread, and you leave it sitting for a minute, and then it fucking melts.
Oh, is there a method?
There's a
madness,
method.
is there?
There's an absolute method to doing it.
No,
But nah, no breakfast. Obviously, I'm being biased. I don't eat breakfast that often, or lunch really. I just really eat dinner. And
See,
whenever I
I'm the
listen to this
opposite. I
here-
would have breakfast and then I'll not eat anything until
Yeah.
dinner. And when I say breakfast, I've had the same breakfast for maybe the last 8 years. It's just fucking sausages.
on the weekends,
and
well,
cornbread.
like obviously not now, but like usually I would go and get a fry or something. That would be about the only thing. But no, I try not to, and you do feel better for it. And obviously, when I seen now Andrew Huberman talk about it, I was like, that
did his
confirms
name
my
come back to you, though?
that confirms my bias.
No, I do agree though. Like you can because there's some times where if I get up and I'm just feeling particularly inspired, I'll literally roll out of bed straight onto the computer and I'll
Yeah.
sit for maybe 9-10 hours and not eat or drink or nothing.
See, I done that with weed. I used to get up in the morning first thing, right, and get completely baked.
Yeah.
Like take a bucket straight away, and never ate.
Yeah.
It was counterintuitive
Well,
to
see
what
that-
you think about weed smokers, or you end up, instead of going and getting something proper to eat, you end up just eating biscuits and
Shite, because you can't be
aye.
bothered. You're like, I could spend half an hour cooking food
Yep.
and running up and down and checking this, or I could just have a packet of crisps and spend the other 29 minutes, 30 seconds working on this fucking tune.
That's it.
I know, I agree with. See, I'm like that though. I would never have been a big person to get the munchies. It was quite funny. Any time that I would have had a smoke, Nicole would have got really hungry afterwards. I was like, are you getting like fucking after effects from me or something?
Yeah, that's what it was. Second-hand stoned.
That's what it was. But
I've
no,
got that before. Like,
I never had a real munchie.
Yeah.
Whenever I was younger and I first started doing it, it was maybe every now and then.
that's
I was
more
really,
of
really
what
baked.
people tell you, though. People tell you, when you get stoned, you get the
But it's
munchies.
the same way people tell you get really lazy and you can't do anything and there's no focus, and you're like, well, no, that's wrong. It's all.
Yeah, one of the most famous dope smokers in the world is Joe Rogan.
Aye.
No one can call that cunt lazy. Like,
Well, you can't call him lazy, but his job consists in sitting in a chair.
no,
talking
mate,
to
he
people.
he fucking runs a comedy club, travels the world, fucking doing comedy, does a UFC, does 3 podcasts a day.
Yeah.
He's not lazy, mate.
Well, no, it's definitely not.
Gets in a fucking ice bath every morning. Fuck that.
Well, you don't need to be a stoner to do that.
Oh.
You probably need to be on drugs to do
Heather
that.
keeps
Yes.
trying to get me to do it.
An ice bath.
No, she wants to go to the sea first thing in the morning, jump in the sea.
Oh, aye.
I keep going, yes, sure, we'll start next week. We'll start.
I can actually give you an out on this. I actually can use something that I learnt in primary school to help you with this, right? Go to the fucking place where is she wanting to jump in, like Hollywood or what? Or
She didn't say. She just
get her
wants
to
go the sea.
pick anywhere, right? If you go there and get a milk carton and fill it with the water from it, bring it home and leave it sitting for an hour, the water will turn black because of all the shit that's pumped into all the locks and the surrounding areas of Belfast, and that's what you're actually jumping into. I'm sure if she sees that, she'll probably change her mind.
Yeah, because she's like that. She hates fucking dirt and stuff.
I remember the only reason I know this is because when I was in primary school, as you do as a kid, you're going home late on a Sunday night from wherever it is, and you're like, oh yeah, I've got an experiment or something for school tomorrow. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, it needs to be something from like nature or something. So because we were driving past Carrickfergus, my dad was like, right, stop the car, went down to the fucking water and filled up this fucking milk jug. Well, I was like, there you go, there's your nature. You can say it's fucking seawater from Carrickfergus. Jumped in the car, and that was his solution to this, and the water turned completely black.
Fuck.
And I was like, oh, look how fucking poisonous the fucking sea is.
It
So,
is
yeah.
fuck up Belfast Rock. I'm sure it's rotten. Like,
Oh, I would say so.
what's shit in it?
But
What can you do?
it's meant to be good for you, all that there.
It is. What is it? Cold shock proteins and heat shock
I
proteins.
think I talked about
saunas
this in the
too.
show before whenever I had to sit in the frozen lake at the bottom of Ben Nevis for
Aye,
3 minutes like that.
You did.
That really was
Breathing,
sore
mate,
as
isn't
fuck. But see, after maybe a minute and a half, you're either so numb to it, or you've just got the breathing under control that it's fine. Once you move again, it's kind of like, see, whenever it's a really cold night and you get into bed and you're
Yeah.
like really tucked in, but then if you move your foot for a bit, you tell holy fuck, it's freezing over there.
Yeah.
Like that. That's what it's like once it starts kicking in. Like if you just stay
Stay
in your
still.
little pocket
That's what.
and
That's
breathe,
what he
you're
was
fine.
saying. I was
But
listening
once
to-
you move, it's like, oh shit, it's all the ice again.
That's what he was saying. He has a fucking one out his back. No, that it's cold and there's ice and all in it. And he gets in. He says, but if you just after like he does it for like 20 minutes and all. He's like, if you just sit still, it's sweet. So I got this new one that trickles water in constantly, which means the water constantly moves. So you can't, no matter what happens. And he's like, tortures himself. And he's like, but that makes everything else in my life easy because I torture myself every day.
If you can do that, you can do
Yeah,
that.
I would do that. He's right in what he's saying. It's like it makes sense that if you can put yourself through that much pain and suffering, sitting down here and trying to write music isn't that hard. Like,
Fucking right it is.
but if you know you can conquer that, you know you can conquer fucking your
There-
LFO rate.
I'm sorry, but there is definitely a lot more to learning a DAW and making music than filling up a bucket with ice and sitting in it for a bit.
But it's good for the mind. The mind can overcome that because it's easy to work out then. I mean, your mind's relaxed after. It's not as hard as sitting there. So seeing you're getting frustrated, you know what I mean?
I'm always frustrated, mate.
I know you were gurning earlier.
Why?
Sure.
What was it going about?
The LFO rate.
No.
Go and check our Facebook. I
Oh
put
yes, that's right.
I done a video of Dave Cran, know the old Snapchat filter. Pull it up. You can pull it up there, can you?
Let's see.
I keep forgetting we'll have the internet. We're not live.
Even if we are live, we still have the internet.
I know, but I keep forgetting we're not live.
Let's see.
We don't follow no crowd. We should remix that. Shug's done the example, change the way he kissed me. We should do the unorthodox one.
I have no idea what any of the words you just said are.
Example, unorthodox. Come on, Dave.
Not yet, actually, no.
Is he? You happy with that one, Dave? What?
No, not yet.
You don't look happy to me. It's so fucking funny. Fucking Jack's got me with it last night in Five Guys.
Did I?
Aye, turn and goes, what's wrong with Daddy? Do you not like that burger? And I was like, no, I do. And then they showed me that there, and it was me going,
I do, Jack. Stop it. Stop taking the videos. I had a memory pop up on my Facebook, man, that I wanted to share with the guys from fucking, 2018. So
You see, to be fair, you've told this story on here before, and you said it was during the pandemic.
No,
But you did say that.
No, there was
You've got confused.
There was a different one during the pandemic.
Oh, right.
This one I have talked about. I know. Right, so
It's an easy mistake to make.
The short story of this is I woke up. I don't know. I was going to bed and I could hear tunes pumping from far away, and I was like, right, well, there's no, because you can normally hear like Shorefest and stuff was on whenever we were in Beaver. So I was like, right, there's nothing on. That's a bit odd. Woke up the next morning to let the dog out for a piss, and could still hear tunes pumping. I was like, that has to be coming from the forest. So because I was up at that time of the day, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take a dog for a walk and go and have a nosy and see what I can find. Right. So this video will show what I did find, and then I will explain how this doesn't actually represent what happened afterwards.
Yeah, the birds.
But see, you can't
Love
hear
what
music.
that's
You could
saying,
hear
so.
that. You could hear it at my house, which was far away from here. The music just disappeared, and I was like, "Am I going mad?"
You can start to hear it now.
Yeah. Music was getting a wee bit louder. The dog was the decoy.
You can really start to hear it now. Nice acid line.
Oh, it's like proper old school rave.
Wonder if it was fucking banners and all.
No, it wasn't. I asked.
Take it. I'd have been loving it. Yeah, these lads.
Oh no, it all went a bit ski whiff after this, mate. So, all looks fun and great crack and all that there, right? So after I done all that, I then took a turn round the corner and seen a few girls wiped out. It's like, morning, having a laugh. They were beside a river, so being a dead-on guy, I was like, are yous all right? Aye, mister, we're fine. I was like, right, well, just stay safe beside the river and see yous later. And that was my conscience cleared. Walked on up, and then I seen this like 45, 50-year-old man macking on to a 16-year-old, or like trying to.
Fuck.
And that's whenever I started getting a bit, this is fucking shit. And then I seen a couple more dodgy things like that as I walked on the path with phone the peelers. And what I actually phoned them and says was, look, I want to report an illegal rave in Beaver Forest, but the music isn't bothering me. I'm a DJ and I don't care about it. The reason that I'm concerned is because there's old men and they appear to be trying to put moves on young girls who are intoxicated, and I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, we were called out to that 4 times last night, but there was nothing we could do. And I was like, right, well, okay, but I'm telling you that there's bad things happening with children now. Can you come out? And they're like, right, okay, yes, we'll send somebody out now. So I just standed about for half an hour to see if the peelers would come in. So I walked out of the forest and up.
Peelers are police for
Yes.
anyone that's not from Northern Ireland.
And I went up to the front gate just as a full extra walk for the dog. And
Yeah.
as I got up to the front gate of the forest, it was just streams of fucking kids lying there in the sun, completely whapped out. Look, mate, there's a dog. Holy shit, where'd that come from? What the fuck's going on? And the peelers never showed up, mate. I walked about for an hour waiting for them, and they never
Can
fucking
they
came.
not close that down? But
No, what the police told me on the phone was that there was too many people there, and there wasn't enough manpower for them to physically come in and remove them. Like, mate, see this here? This was on a big rig on the back of a fucking van on a big, what do you call it, like a flatbed?
yeah,
And they had a whole system and all in, but this was obviously the end of it. I would imagine it was massive before that.
yeah.
But
There's still a good wee crowd there, like maybe 100 people.
that's where I got the idea for doing ours.
I know.
Do you know what they
And I
done?
think we've definitely told this on the show before, but there's new people listening, obviously. But over the pandemic, we were like, fuck it, let's do an illegal rave. Dave was like, I know the spot. Here's me. Happy days. We'll go and scope it out. And then we drove up. We had to drive through this village thing that was like 100 or 2 million, £3 million houses, up to this lane.
I think that's a slight exaggeration.
It's probably £1 million houses. Like,
They were maybe three-quarters of a million to £1 million houses.
And you're driving up, and top of Malone Road it was. Drive up this wee lane. Now, in fairness, the lane was maybe a mile, 2 miles. We got there.
And it takes you to an abandoned skate park in the
It was an
middle of a
abandoned
forest.
skate park, and Dave was like, been here loads, never seen the pillars, nothing. Here's me, happy days. And it was the business. You could have got like 100 people in it in this wee like covered bit.
Yeah.
You could have had such a rave, and we were there not even 5 minutes, and the cops pulled up.
But here I did
The whole time,
I
too. But
did
you
have
were like,
quick thinking.
the whole time, Dave was like, "Mate, never find you in here. It's just out of the way and all this."
I will. Now, to be fair, yes, we did find out after I told my dad that there was a secret police shop just around the corner from there because of all the pricey houses. But it was quick thinking to get out of it. So like, what are you doing there, boys? I was like, well, we're actually DJs and we're looking to shoot a live stream because of COVID, and we were just wondering like this is where we're going to do it now that we've got you. Can we question you on what would happen if we had a few people and some lights? And they were like, oh, that's actually quite a good idea, but just make sure you're all far apart.
And they said to let them know beforehand so that they don't.
But that was that was shit. Like
It
it was such
so
a good
funny.
spot
It
though.
was so fucking
Such
funny.
a good fucking spot. But
We ended up we did do a live stream in the Carndoo House.
Carndoo House, yes. Gonna do another wee thing maybe up there.
Aye, with that new track,
Yeah.
100%.
But that was fun. This is another thing I've seen here. Have to watch to the end, right?
Outstanding.
Just watch somewhere around here. Did you see that?
No.
Watch the car bonnet.
What the fuck?
Some car gets completely milled by a car going past.
That's amazing.
But you're just watching going, aye, this is such a fucking kebab shop. And then you're
Play
being
it
like,
again.
The whole thing?
Aye, the whole fucking thing.
We should open a kebab shop.
Aye. Ah, living on a prayer. Did they hit her or was she just laying
No,
on
you
it?
can hear her being hit.
I
So
did. I
the
did.
car's not going fast enough for it to go bang, but it's just a
That's so funny, man.
fucking car surfing, mate. But yes, that fucking gave me a good old tickle, so it did.
It did, mate. I didn't see it start because I was too busy watching the fucking kebab shop going fucking right. And then some fella was walking out of the door at the same time. So
Aye.
my eyes were on him. I didn't even notice it the first
See,
time.
I only caught it at the last bit of the first time I watched it, and then I was like, was that somebody at the bonnet of that car? And then you watch it back, fuck, she got completely milled.
It was a proper rave in there too. I'd love that. I'd have been in giving it stacks.
Why would-
fish, cardboard box.
Why would you not, mate?
I know.
You could definitely make more money off that than fucking selling out shows like every Friday and Saturday
Aye,
night. Have
open
constant DJ and selling kebabs.
Aye, DJ. I have a DJ in the kebab shop, and you know what I mean. You get fucking 30 people in there every fucking 15 minutes, like.
Everybody want to come in after
Aye.
closing hour for a wee disco.
It'd be-
Get mold tunes in. Here,
Aye.
would you won't fucking spin a few kebabs for me, would you?
Get moles in, saying the Lord's Prayer. Bless you,
Bless.
my child.
Here, speaking of fucking moles, did you hear about Angerfist?
He's went techno.
Aye, well, he's techno and hard trance and
Aye, but see,
maze.
did you read? Did you read the thing about it?
I do, because I've got it right here. Actually.
Aye, because he says obviously hardcore. He's focusing on hardcore. That's where he'll be doing. But he's done like, was it 12 different aliases in different genres over the years?
Yeah.
But he, you know what I mean, obviously the hardcore one's his main one. Obviously you're getting fucking 12 grand a set.
Was it Maze Pusher he's being called? Did you see that? Do you know he used to do hip hop?
Did he?
Yeah, I didn't know this
that
here.
either.
He,
I assumed he'd done a lot of
Hang
different
on.
genres from what he said.
This'll be a good fucking sample mania one for you.
You just literally stole Kutsky's fucking full segment.
It's
there.
alright. He fucking stole our ideas.
Hello, John, you fucker, you. You stole our fucking sample thing. We were doing that every week on here. Only you doing it way better.
I know. Imagine us doing it every week on here for like 38 weeks, and John doing it since like we were kids. You stole our idea.
He did, but he does. There's a class actually. If anyone who is interested in the sample stuff that we were doing here, go and check Kutsky's TikTok out.
Yeah, that it's good fun. It's very well presented as well.
That's
the
what I'm
way
saying.
doing it.
He's very knowledgeable and very articulate.
I
Unlike
can't-
us two cabbages.
I can't find this.
What's Angerfist's real name? Find his real name.
Danny Mesling?
Right, type that in.
Why?
Because then it'll give you all his aliases on like Discogs or something.
This is top rate bands here.
I know.
Too much. It's a very famous rap song if you're into rap. And I was like, fuck away off. That wasn't Angerfist. But it was. That's not going to be it. No. I'll find it for another show.
I found it for Tuesday.
So
It'll be out after this.
That'll be a fun one here. Do you want to see this here? Tune in next week to find out when we couldn't find it.
I know, because this one will be going out after Tuesday's live one.
Yeah. Something.
Told
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
We're from the fucking future.
Being beamed in from fucking
I
the beach. Did you?
hope you have a shit time.
I really hope I don't. I'm gonna have a shit time getting there.
It's
It's we've been told we know there's going to be a 4-hour delay in the airport.
Belfast Marathon.
Belfast Marathon. So the roads close around my house at 8:30. Or we need to be up at the airport for 12:30, and I also need to leave the dog off. So it's just going to be an absolute melt. Like my dad's offered to help, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Fun to get to the sun.
Once you're on that plane, but mate, you don't give a fuck.
That's it, man.
When are you back?
Thursday, Friday morning. It's like midnight Thursday, so I'm in the airport at 12:30 on Friday morning.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Did you ever go to see Eddie Halliwell on the coach?
Yes.
Did you?
Mate, that was my mate.
The stolen shoe?
Hogger stole a shoe. Hogger was running about Haller Street with his shoe fucking that night.
Did you see the thing on Facebook?
I seen it. That's,
Mate.
That's Hogger's wee brother. Hogger's wee brother that left the shoe in because Hogger's dead now.
Bollocks, right, okay.
Hogger died in jail. He was in my class the whole way through school, so he was.
You always bring it down a wee bit, don't you?
Well, I'm just telling you the truth. Like, Hogger was a good mate of mine, and he was in my class from fucking first year. And then we were all in the coach together that night, and then we got back, and he was running about Haller Street with Eddie Halliwell's shoe. Mate, he had it in his room in a wee case and all, so he did
For a bit of context, for the point I was going to make here, way back when, you're talking maybe 20 odd years ago now, maybe 15 odd years.
It would have been maybe 2009, I would say.
Eddie Halliwell was playing in the coach and Steve stage dived like he normally did, and you all caught him because I don't know what that's like. But someone stole his shoe. And then at the end of the night, the crowd all started, instead of one more tune, all started going, one more shoe, one more shoe.
Because they were asking for it back on the microphone. They were asking for his shoe back.
Aye, that's right. They were like, nah, you're not getting it back.
Hogger went up his top out on the bus.
It popped up on Facebook the other day that there's a picture of Eddie Halliwell being presented with the shoe to say that after all these years, it has been returned to him.
That's Hogger's wee brother. He's called Hogger too.
Imagine hanging on to that, like you didn't chuck that out after all these years, and then just were like, here's your shoe back, mate. And he's definitely going to remember that. Because,
because he has to go back to the hotel with no shoe on.
He's got to go home.
Remember,
how many fucking pairs of shoes do you bring with you whenever you go to
I know he would have had to go and buy a pair in Belfast the next day,
yeah.
surely. But do you remember... Remember we played District? Someone tried to steal your shoe?
But I'll remember that because it's not very often that fucking someone tries to steal your footwear. They get a chance to steal your footwear.
I swear to God, we were in Haller Street too after, mate, and he was just walking about. Hogger was just walking about with a shoe, like this here, and everyone was like, "Man, he's got Eddie Halliwell's shoe." It's fucking brilliant.
I wonder does Eddie still have the other one?
Alex,
it's like fucking the weirdest Cinderella story ever. Here you go, by Prince.
Hey, I'm pretty sure Alex said to me that's one of the reasons he started taking his shoes off when he was stage diving was because of that.
Really?
Because remember, Alex used to do it all the time too.
I know he DJs without any shoes on.
He does,
That I find that weird. I just asked him why, and he was like, "It's more comfortable."
It's like being in the bedroom.
How can it be comfortable on a sticky floor though? But it's everywhere. Like you always.
Everywhere I've been, he's not. He always has cool socks on.
See,
like
people don't know. There's a lot of weird things that go on behind where you can't see from our waist down. Like there's another DJ, I'll not name and shame them, but they will stand on either a stool or a beer crate because they're a little bit smaller than everyone and they want to appear taller. It's like full Cristiano Ronaldo up the tiptoes.
Dodgy ad. Like we've played on stages where they've had like a wee step up.
Aye.
But the step is maybe this long, so like it's easy to fall back. Like
Aye. Also, if you take one step back, you're gone.
I would rather it be flat. I know
Yeah.
obviously some people need it higher, but it's if you're not very animated at DJing, then okay, that'll work. But way me and you fucking get on.
And to
sometimes,
be
it's
fair,
fucking-
we're the problem. It's not everybody else.
it's not.
we are
The
the
stage
problem.
design is fine. It's just
Yeah.
me and you.
It was like that DJ box in fucking Nas or Nace.
Uh,
And it wasn't big enough for the both of us. And whenever you weren't mixing, you had like one leg half in, one leg out of the wee swinging door going, oh fuck.
mate, we had that wee room up in 2 wheels. Like,
We were up in fucking 2 wheels
was
trying to fit in that
fucking-
DJ box.
yeah, I was all subground and all too. We were playing like housey stuff.
Yeah.
How the fucking full circle,
I know it is.
isn't it? It's a full circle. We've been producing loads of slower stuff. Obviously, no, I mean we've been talking about it and been posting videos. It's not. We're just making music.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still fucking play hardstyle. We still love hardstyle. It's not. We're not jumping ship, as they say.
Yeah. Just tinkering with different things and trying to find a bit of inspiration again. See if you can find something new.
No disrespect to all them fucking future rave and. But your music's easy to make. Like
Oh, compared to hardstyle, it's a fucking
we racked out 6. Like.
yeah. What 6 and 2.5 weeks?
And then we're doing one there. Like, we literally took us 10 minutes to do something for a client there. Like, didn't it?
That was a joke.
Literally took 10 minutes. Not to build a tune, obviously,
but
but
just
just get everything in order.
Yeah, to get literally the
parts.
idea and all the parts together took 10 minutes.
I mean,
get it
it'll-
all on key and just everything there. It'll take about 4 or 5 hours maybe to build.
Yeah, and
And
then
then-
mix and master. But
yeah.
again, it's like, well, hardstyle is without a doubt the most complex music, bar maybe orchestra shit and all, you know what I mean? But when it comes to electronic music, that maybe dubstep's close to it.
Well, that's the one thing I will say. I'm not a big fan of drum and bass, but whenever we were in Escape last year and you were walking past the drum and bass tent, as shit as the music is, there's a hell of a lot of fucking intricacies go into making wee things
like
come in here, there, and everywhere. and
So
you're just
much
like,
LFO
Yeah.
movement, but it's not the same. It's like not like every bit seems different with the LFO, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Make me wah, wah, wah,
like
wah,
there's
wah.
so much going on, and you know that it will be a very hard genre of music to make.
Like hardstyle.
Yeah.
Do you know, it is crazy, but I've had fun doing it, and I mean,
It's excuse me, it has
eye-opening.
been fun. It's takes the shackles off a wee bit because you're not following any sort of set process. I think we've talked about this because you don't know the genre, so you're just
fucking everything
it's
in.
like
It's fucking
being
great.
back to square one again. You're just throwing the things in, seeing if it sounds good.
Only as you said the last show, it was like we're doing it properly. Whereas whenever we were making subground, we were still very green.
Yeah, but didn't really know when you sort of about keys. But then I was thinking, yes,
Aye,
as long as
cocaine keys.
everything's within the key range, it should work. Rather than no, all this needs to be the same fucking key.
The root note.
Yeah, the root note.
It's madness, mate. It's like it is crazy how music, like, and even see, I've been doing a lot of research and all into like mixing and mastering, mostly mastering. But then there's these people that are showing you, and they're like, I use this plugin, but like I don't change anything. I just use the basic standard setting because I like how this CLA2A hardware compressor gives me the sound.
Yeah.
And like most people have their go-to things, but they're actually they're not like. It's different with a synth. Yes, you have to have like your sort of thing, but like your sort of sound that you're going for.
Yeah.
But these ones, when they're mastering and they're mixing, it's just basically they have the different plugins sound different, but basically see the standard like preset as soon as you put it on.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't really going far away from that. They're
No.
maybe messing about with the attack and the release a wee bit. And I was thinking, fuck, like I always thought these like Grammy winning, award winning fucking mixers and masters were like knew everything. They're like, nah, we just have a big arsenal of stuff. So
yeah,
that's
at
why.
their disposal.
But we're not really tweaking knobs as much as you would think.
Look at fucking Afro Man because they got high. Like, how big was that tune worldwide? And that was 6 channels.
Scary,
Like,
isn't it?
I watched a documentary about that tune and how it blew up. It was quite interesting. Only 20-minute watch. It was one of
Yeah.
the Vice things, and he wrote it for a laugh and recorded it, and was just selling it on CDs from the corner. And then it got a bit popular on the block, so he went
Yeah.
down to the local record store and gave them like 500 copies of these CDs, and it was playing, and it just happened to fall into the lap of somebody from Sony who liked it. And then they all had to go and fight because they're like, oh, you can't be putting songs about marijuana on the radio. And it's like, well, actually, no, if you listen to the message of it, the whole thing's actually saying don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah, I suppose, but it's still a song about marijuana. And then they bought the rights of it off the record shop on the block, and it became what it is. But it was literally him, his voice, the bass guitar, a kick, and like a clap, a snare, and a wee hi-hat. And that
Yeah.
the whole tune.
It's madness, man, isn't
And
it?
he just fucking blew up from it. Like,
Had
so it's-
had a great life, and
it's
then got
the-
raped. Remember we watched him get
Aye.
raped by the cops? Trying to find
and then
something here.
he made the song about it. Who's gonna fix my gate?
Who's gonna fix my door? Made madness. So this, what I'm trying to find here, I can't remember. I don't know who it was he interviewed. And they have like this hardware, like piano thing,
Mm-hmm.
like a synth. I don't even know if it's a synthesizer. I think it's a drum machine. The hardcore. Do you know, like, do you ever get like a piano for your kid, and it's got like presets in it? You push
Yeah.
them, and it's got boom, boom, and one of it was like one of them Daft Punk tunes or something. The fucking the melody was just the preset straight out of this wee stupid toy thing.
Aye.
Like, and I was going, what the fuck? And
But
they were like, aye, but
it's
that's
just
all.
from anywhere.
Aye, it's insane, but it's so eye opening and it's amazing. Like, and it frees like, see any young lads out there that are fucking learning music production. Don't get caught up with all this fucking shit that we did when we were
No.
younger. Like, it has to be 100% original. Bollocks. Fucking, if it sounds good, stick it in your tune.
Sure as fucking Adaro and Chrono's new tune, the melody of that is some pop song. I'm near enough certain. I heard it. I can't remember what the
I
pop
haven't
song
heard
is.
the tune.
Adaro and Chronos. I can't remember what it's called. Alright, stop the party. That'll be it. Fucking adverts. Seriously, like, oh, see, that was another thing that fucking wound me up. Do you ever see the adverts that you get to come up on your phone, and it's for like these fucking trap games where you have to pull a lever out to drop something down to go that way so it doesn't fall and hit this person? But it's the easiest level, but the video does it wrong to try and entice you to be like, oh, well, I could fucking do that, I'm going to do it. And every time I watch these, the adverts going, I get suckered into it. I'm not going to download the game,
Yeah.
but I'm looking at it going,
Aye.
it's so simple, it's right there, just pull the fucking
Aye.
thing across. And you're like, oh, I want to do that. Your advertising's working like fuck, but I'm not going to let you win, you bastards.
Do you ever see the ones where it has like some big girl with big tits standing down, and then it just like out there, and you see it, and then it stops, and then it goes until Knights of the Realm.
No, I
Aye.
haven't seen these ones.
Mate, that's because you're probably not sitting and watching it. So it's literally like a big girl down there down the street, fucking dressed nice, and then it goes Knights of the Realm. So it's to catch your attention and
Right,
bring
so
you in.
It's like a fucking honey trap
Aye.
ad.
Cunts.
Right, let's see where this is. Maybe you'll know.
It is, aye.
But like, what is the tune?
Do 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 do. Like trumpets.
Yeah.
Mate, that's bound to be on that sample website now. That's a good tune, that.
It is.
But again, that's a very popular.
What's the sample site called?
Who sampled? It's madness, mate, isn't it? Like fucking. Obviously, there's no. You can't really copyright corporate aggressions, can you? Like.
No. Well, that's something actually I was going to talk to you about. Speaking of music law and fucking copywriting.
It's just you get a bad rep for it, like.
No,
when-
that's not on the sample thing yet. But somebody will know. Put it in the comments and fucking messages because it'll annoy me. We're not into pop music. So do you know the way when we were playing with our AI stuff, and you can do the AI vocals and all that there?
Yeah.
Have you seen that there's now been the first case has been brought against that for copyright infringement by using AI vocals?
Right.
There's some guy who he made a tune and the tune was by Drake and The Weeknd,
Yeah.
and it was completely 100% made from AI. And it racked up, I think, over 1 million plays on Spotify and 600,000 views on Instagram in 24 hours. And then it got pulled for copyright infringement. Now, this is gonna set the precedence moving forward, because he's gonna argue this, because he's like, well, no, I didn't do anything wrong. It's a computer program. If anything, you should be going after them and not me. I just used their service, and this is my result. So now the big wigs are going to try and state, well, because it's their intellectual property, because it's their voice, but it's not their intellectual lyrics.
He wrote the lyrics.
I've wrote everything. I've just used a computer to say something. So this also will have implications for deepfakes and shit as well.
But or did he use ChatGPT to write the lyrics?
I don't know the full...
Do you know what I mean? But again, I hear you there. So if this is the case, he should be getting the royalties then, definitely, for the song lyrics.
Well, the song's gone. You can't get it out. It's been completely abolished after one day. It was like Flappy Birds, mate.
I got Flappy Birds. Do you want it?
No, you're
I'll
alright.
send you it. You have to go through a link.
I was shit at Flappy Birds.
It's a fucking bastard, mate. It's one of them ones, like, see whenever someone... I seen the link somewhere, and I was like, everyone was like, oh, Flappy Birds. And so it's like on a website, but so you have to go through a website on your phone to get it. And mate, the day I got it, mate, I must have sat for 3 or 4 hours.
Nicole
like 10 points.
Great at it. Nicole got like 98 or something, I think was her high score.
It's fucking dirty bastards.
But what were we talking about before that?
That ChatGPT and like AI stuff. It's weird because
it's an on the fence one, because you can get the argument to both sides.
Yes, I feel if he's releasing a full track with Drake's lyrics, it's that there has to be some sort of regulations come in regarding that.
But it's not Drake's lyrics. It's no one's lyrics.
I mean, sorry, his voice.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of regulation
like that
on that.
Elon Musk thing. Is it really his voice?
Or bring regulations in saying, right, listen, you can't profit off of this.
But that's what'll have to be set out.
David Guetta done one. Did you hear the
Eminem
one about Future Rave?
But he came out and said, I've no intention of releasing this. This was just a little experiment, me playing with technology.
Yes, we done the one with Snoop Dogg. Obviously, it wasn't bang on, but it was still Snoop Dogg talking us through a track thing. But at the end of the day, like them there, we're never going to monetize them.
No.
I think that's fine if you're monetizing this Drake. But I think that's where you draw a line. You say, right, if you're using AI for anyone else's like voice or their lyrics or their intellectual property, then you can't monetize it at all. Or you split the royalties with the artist.
No.
Or you just get brought out the back and shot by the robots for cheating.
You either accept that this is the future that we're very quickly moving towards, or you stay in the dark ages. And realistically, yes, you shouldn't really be benefiting from it, but they shouldn't be going after the artist. The artist is that would be like us getting sued because of using something that Ableton put in their program. If you have designed a program to enable people to make celebrities' voices, and you've put hours and hours and hours into perfecting this, and somebody has used your product, it's not
on you then.
It's not you're just using a tool that is out there to anybody that can use. Just because you've been smart enough to do this in such a way that you've made a song and it sounds class, that people want to hear.
I feel you.
Then
throw the blame on the company.
Yeah, but the company then should have to argue the more. It's not even them arguing this for this one artist. They should have to argue the moral ethics of why our business should still be allowed to exist. And that's where the argument should lie, not whether, you should be allowed to do this with these voices or not.
Google the fucking thing there. I would like to know more about this, because we're going down this road.
It's a very, very, very grey road now because of all the ChatGPT stuff and all that there.
Someone wrote on Facebook the other day, I had a conversation with him, just an open thread thing, and I was like, he was saying, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I was like, well, we have used it. I was like, we used Snoop Dogg's thing. I've asked it to make hardstyle melodies. Again, it'll give you the instructions, but you have to do it all, and you still need to have a basic understanding of synthesis to make this work. It'll not just give you the instructions of how to make a hardstyle lead, and you'll just fly. And
it gives you step by step.
It gives you step by step.
Yeah,
Same
but
with
it's like watching a YouTube tutorial.
See, even with the lyrics, when you ask ChatGPT, the right lyrics, you still need to punch it up for a human touch, like.
Yeah.
So it's not quite there yet, but it is the future. Like, it's the way. I can't even remember the point I was trying to get to there. I was fucking reading that, but is this it?
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to allow this song to be played.
Give it a go, mate. Fuck it.
I haven't even heard the song, so I don't know if this is it or not. So we could just be listening to something completely.
I agree. It could be anyone. I don't even know what Drake sounds like.
See, to be fair though, like if that is the song, which I'm guessing it is because it's coming up here, Drake and the Weeknd AI remaster. It's very shit quality. Like that piano loop and all, like, is just muck.
It's overpowering.
But it's because people have heard Drake and the Weeknd and they're like, oh my god, collab, need to check that shit out.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it's
Because they're
just
both
as we
Canadian,
said,
aren't
does it matter? Is it down to the song or the artist? If we were to make a tune that was complete muck, people would be like, that's muck. But if somebody that was massive, that had a massive following and all the sheep will follow them, and they done it, people would be like, this is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And that's
It
what I
is.
feel like
It's
that
down
is.
to the artist. Like, if you're popular and you're good, like if you have a good following, it doesn't really matter what you make. Like, people will let you away with a shit tune every now and again. Like,
Yeah. So what happened with AI song? Excuse me.
this is mad. Like, because this is where we're going. Like,
Heart in My Sleeve was eventually removed from streaming services because it contained a sample of producer Metro Boomin's audio tag, a clear copyright violation. But the
so they didn't even pull it for the actual fucking vocals.
But the rights around who can create vocal sound-alikes are much more opaque than you would think and are not covered by US copyright law. So that's now what the problem is. So there's a
he's
sample
a
in
dick.
that's been used.
He
Pulled it,
That's
but
why they pulled it.
they are.
Did you hear that? They pulled that because there was a sample in the track from something else. Whereas if that would still be up then if that wasn't the case.
Let's see. What's the Guardian got to say about it? Because they're obviously down with fucking hip hop. Be funny if these two collabed and made it again.
And give your man all the dough. There you go, kid. Well played.
It's been pulled by the Universal Music Group after going viral. The label condemned the song called Heart in My Sleeve for infringement of content created with generative AI. Blah, 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 blah. Aye, so it had 600,000 Spotify streams, 15 million TikTok views, and 275,000 YouTube views in a day. Viral posting demonstrates why platforms have fundamental legal and ethical responsibility to prevent the use of their services in any way that harms their artists.
That's mad. Like, it's madness that would still be up if it wasn't for that sample.
Let's see, so this is getting into the deep fakes things here. The training of generative AI using our artists' music, which represents a breach of our agreements and violation of copyright laws, as well as availability of infringement content created with generative AIs, begs the question as to whether which side of history all stakeholders in music's ecosystem want to be on the side of the artists, fans, and the human creative expression, or on the side of deep fakes, fraud, and denying artists their due compensation. We are encouraged by the engagement of our platform partners on these issues, and they recognise that they need to be part of the solution.
We're all going down a deep, dark rabbit hole.
In 5 years' time, we'll not be making music anymore. I would dare say we'll not even be DJing anymore because it'll just be fucking wee Robo John.
I know, but humans still want someone to look at and
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
But people also think it's cool looking at a robot, and you don't have to get robot strengths. And you also got to do is make sure the battery's charged.
You don't have to pay them
Don't gotta pay
$2,000
them.
a set.
Yeah. Don't got to pay travel. And you just say, here, this is the type of music I want for the night. And
Listen,
it plays everything.
We're starting a new brand. It's called The Sound of the Underground. Where real human expression and real human vibes and mistakes.
I
and
genuinely
shit
thought
mixing.
you were fucking breaking some news there. I was like, shit, this is news to me. Are we starting a new brand? Fuck.
If you want to hear real shit mixing, you come to us.
Just like the good old days.
Just like the good old, just like 1 year ago, back in the olden days.
I was thinking about that as well, right? So, see, somewhere along the way, everyone has got a clouded judgment. It's like the Jedi. in Star Wars. It all went a bit fucking bad for them, right? So raves back in the day weren't supposed to be these big fucking sellout jalopy fucking things. They were just meant to be dark, dingy rooms where some people spun class tunes and you could go and take drugs and love life with people.
But no, before you go anywhere, that it's not that it wasn't meant to be that. That's just what it grew into. It wasn't meant to be. Even see the barn things.
I know, but let me
because it wasn't
finish
popular.
where I'm going, right? So yes, it is growing into this fucking establishment that it is today, right? But see, whenever you see videos of certain raves in certain places, like not in clubs and stuff, or not maybe clubs per se, but like there's not people behind the decks, but it just looks like a fucking more of a ravey thing than an actual club night. You look at it and go, well, yeah, you might only have 50 people there, but you're doing what the epitome of what we're trying to achieve is. Like, you're just there to entertain people who want to have a fucking memorable night and be like, fuck, like people don't care if there's 100,000 people around you. Do you remember whenever we were really fucking wiped out, having a heart to heart, and he played that song, he played our song when we were talking, and it just made our day. People don't give a fuck about how many people are there. They want the moments that are triggered by musical euphoria.
That's what people like. You think about the music that was there at that stage. So whenever you're thinking about that moment, you'll think about such and such dropping this tune.
Yeah.
But again, yes, they're not even there. They're there for the music, yes, but they're there to dance and to have fun. That's what you have to remember. Like, see the DJs in the clubs. It's not about you. People are going for a good night out. They're not necessarily coming to see you. They're going out with their friends and to have fun.
You're there to provide entertainment.
I said this to you a couple of weeks ago too. Like, see, whenever I think back, see the nights that I remember the most fondest were the not so busy nights where you were more intimate with the DJs. There was, like, say maybe 150 people in a small club.
Yeah.
And no, I mean, you weren't like shoulder to shoulder, but you were able to have a laugh with your friends and joke about.
That was it. You had the space of the floor, and you could all have your wee dances or your jokes or get away the fuck, instead of like people bashing into you. And
they were the nights that I remember the fondest. Like, see all the big nights in like Callie's.
They're great, but you remember them more for going, do you remember we stood for 40 minutes waiting on a beer? Do you remember standing there for 2 hours before we could even fucking like move an inch?
I know. See, that's it. Ultimately, you're there to make people dance. It's the same whenever I see people that are like, they just go in, they just rack out whatever music they decide they want to play.
Yeah.
That's not what you're booked for. You're booked there for the people to enjoy.
Well, to a certain
good
degree, if you're being booked, then they know what music you play.
Listen.
But yes, I agree
Randy
with you. You're not.
Is one of the biggest fucking hardstyle acts on the planet.
Yeah.
And he does it. He changes his set.
But you know you're going to get a hardstyle set. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't book somebody for a hardstyle act and say, right, I want you to play techno tonight. If they book you, yes, they know you're playing hardstyle, but your hardstyle should cater to the crowd.
Yeah.
Like that's what Randy said that night we went back to one of the Telegraph building. He's like, I always play my Def Con anthem 2 or 3 tunes into my set, and if I don't get a crowd back going Def Con 1, I know they're not a hard style crowd, and I'll just play a cheesier set.
It'll be like popular pop tunes that have a reverse bass on it, and that's like that's the way it is. Like, remember we played in Newry? We got booked to play a hardstyle set. We got the Newry, and
that was with Symmetric, wasn't it?
Oh, I was us in Symmetric, and there wasn't. No one knew what hardstyle was, and we literally just went through.
No one knew what being 18 was.
We literally went right down the fucking UK happy hardcore route, and it went right off.
To be fair, after 3 or 4 tunes, when we realised that they don't know what actual hardstyle, like, we didn't go in hard, but like they didn't even really know reverse bass tunes, and we were like, right, we'll have a competition to see who can play the cheesiest song, and you did win.
Come show me your hardcore feelings.
You won with Cascada. Anytime you play Cascada.
Oh, every time we touch, I get this feeling.
I don't have anything in
but
my brain
I ended
up.
See, 15 minutes in, like, I was going, I'm actually really enjoying.
But it was a good, it was a good laugh trying to pick tunes that we don't normally play to try and create a set that's going to still flow and be seamless.
Yeah. Listen, see if you're emptying dance floors regularly,
you're playing too fast.
People don't want that. Like, you have to go in and play you have to cater to whoever's in the fucking club, whoever paid the money in to see. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Like, you're always going to get, no matter where you go, you're going to get about 30% that are full diehards. And then everything else after maybe another 20 that are like sort of know what I mean, half in, half out, and then the 50%, the rest are just, all my mates were going, sort of, you know what I mean? So you have to cater to them all. And the more you do that there, the more, like, see, look at fucking people like Ben Nicky. Ben Nicky could play a set anywhere. He could play a set in the Moon, mate, and get people dancing. Yeah. Because he, see, I'd love to have a look through Ben Nicky's USB pens. He has fucking everything. He'll have his playlist that he plays regularly. He probably plays the same 30 tunes every gig, and then swaps 3 or 4 out once a month whenever new ones are released. I
isn't even planning. It's just.
I know it's not.
You've got no real time to listen to tunes.
He just has a play. Like have a playlist, and do you know what I mean? But then I guarantee you, like after that, he has fucking techno till Frenchcore.
I will say this. I think that there was one point whenever we were in the Telegraph building, I was sort of cautious whether I should say this or not, but I don't really give a fuck. Whenever he was playing his after party after the remote park, and he started with Dark Monk's Insane. I was like, fucking yes, what a tune. I'm gonna fucking go and bang this. Like, you never hear anybody playing that tune anymore. And it got to the part where you should start mixing, and he was gonna mix. And then he just spun it out and got the microphone and went, I don't really like that tune, I'm going to pick another one. And then played another tune. And I was kind of just standing in disbelief going, I know that that's happened because I've only had 2 beer tonight. So I'm not out. I've just come out to say hello to Randy.
I don't remember that.
You weren't there.
Wasn't that?
You were backstage still. I just came out to the wee side bit.
See, I like a good backstage. But see, once I get in, I'm like, right now I'm going down to sit in my fucking comfort and not talk to no one.
Oh, no,
I'll go out and speak
to
I'll go out and speak to everyone after my set, but then you'll find me firmly in backstage acting like a diva. So I drink mine, even if I'm not playing. What do you mean? I'm fucking with Randy. I want that fucking grey goose.
Randy said we'll have to fucking have it. What are you talking about?
Nah, I was driving, so I didn't drink. I'm joking, by the way, folks.
Yes.
I'm one of yous.
No, you're not. We'll wrap it up. I've got the child and the missus waiting for me to go down to the beach here a bit longer, so I've got to beam back to fucking
get your sunglasses on.
I'll put them away.
It's all right. But see, anything we say on Tuesday, anything we say last week, don't worry about it.
Yes. I was trying to figure that out. What are you talking about?
I know. Anything we said last week is probably all a load of shite.
We forgot about the show.
We maybe announced their next event by then.
Yeah.
That's why there's no mention of it in this week's show. Yeah, it was fun, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Yes, enjoy.
Peace.
Phase 2.